What's going on YouTube? Username Kite562 here from Kite562 Books and Manga Reviews, and I have a quick little response video that I found about bookish snobbery. Now, this list of 7 questions was made by Tia at all the books. But where I found this video was from Reading This Life, so I'll leave a link in the description to the video below and also at the top right of this video. So I wrote out the questions before I hit record on this camera, so listen to what I have to say about bookish snobbery and opinions. And I'll definitely leave the questions down below in the description below as well, so you can fill them out if you want to make a video like this yourself. So sit back and relax and listen to what I have to say about my answers to these 7 questions. Okay, so for question number 1, Adaptation Snob. Do you always read the book before you see the movie? Well, when I was younger, I'd always go for the movie first before reading the book. I mean, I've always been an avid reader, but when it came to movie adaptations, I always go for the movie first. But now, since I'm older, I prefer the book more than the movie, since the book version is a much more solid story the author envisioned in their mind, while the movie has like some unnecessary constraints, like budget or all that stuff, time constraints. Like, I can't see an audience sitting through a 5-hour movie like what Quentin Tarantino had to go through with Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. I think originally that movie was supposed to be 5 hours? Yeah, 5 hours, since both parts are 2 hours and 30 minutes each. If I'm misremembering, please let me know down in the comments below. Okay, so for question number 2, format snob. You can only choose one format in which to read books for the rest of your life. Which one do you choose? Physical books, ebooks, or audiobooks? I chose physical books all the way. Even though I welcome ebooks and audiobooks, it's for me to take a break from our technology-driven world to just sit back and relax and crack open a nice physical book. And plus, you don't have to worry about a book cracking or anything, or only cracking the spine, because that shit makes me shudder from beyond belief. But, you know, when it comes to e-readers, I always get terrified that I'm going to break them or something, so that's definitely a thing that I keep in the back of my mind as I use an e-reader or an audiobook, or even my smartphone to listen to audiobooks. I mean, it's a format to enjoy a story. What's more to know? I mean, a physical book, you can enjoy the written word of it at your own leisure. An audiobook, you can choose how loud you want the story to be read to you, so you can listen to it. And then ebooks, you can change the font. Like, each and every format works for everyone in one way or another, and that's just a whole new video in itself, but I doubt I'd make a video like that. So let's get on with question number 3. Ship snob. Would you date or marry a non-reader? Yeah, I would marry a non-reader or date them, because just because I don't have the same hobby interest as somebody doesn't mean that relationship isn't worth pursuing. I mean, this person might be an avid cook and I could learn a lot of wonderful recipes from them whilst creating a lot of wonderful memories through the cooking of food and whatnot. Or they might be a passionate movie person and know a lot about the cinema history and why this movie was created the way it was, and be passionate about a director's bibliography like Alfred Hitchcock or something. Not all people are the same, and I'm completely okay with that. So for question number 4, genre snob. You have to ditch one genre, never to be read again for the rest of your life. Which one do you ditch? And I have to say romance. It just never really clicked for me book-wise. Like, I enjoy some romantic comedy movies or films, like Titanic, because I'm a sucker for history, and that'll always be me. And so, that's all I gotta say for that. So for question number 5, Uber Genre Snob. You can only choose to read from one genre for the rest of your life. Which genre do you choose? Horror, because that's my main bread and butter, and I can't see myself getting rid of that. I mean, there's so many different ways you can approach horror as a whole. Like you have transformation horror, like with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, psychological horror, generational horror, like with Carrie, which is also a supernatural horror. There's so many different ways you can approach horror as a whole. And I apologize for that phone call interrupting. And for question number 6, community snob. Which genre do you think receives the most snobbery from the bookish community? Classic literature mostly, and I mean classics I haven't read, like Leo Tolstoy or the Brothers Karamazov. And there's so many others, like, for example, it's like, oh, you haven't read Shakespeare. It will change your life. I mean, I can appreciate what Shakespeare does, but, like, I don't see the point of, like, holding him onto a pedestal, but you do you. I'm going to read what I'm going to read, classic or whatnot, so. And so for the final question, snobbery recipient. Have you ever been snubbed for something that you've been reading or for reading in general? Not really. It just comes to a shock to people that they find me to be a passionate reader getting lost into pages of a book. And they're just mostly like, oh, you're a reader? I had no idea. Good for you. So yeah, that's my answer to these 7 questions. So leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content on this channel. This is Kite562 of Kite562 Books and Manga Reviews signing out. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. Later.